How's it going, everybody? This is here. We are about to start the Quasar event to get the red stars, and the characters that we're supposed to be using during this is going to be the Chapter 1 Harbinger roster. So basically, this is going to be the Vigilante characters and the Thunderbolt character. I'm going to be doing difficulty 10. I believe that's max difficulty. All mods active during this, and I want to kind of show you guys where my roster is currently at. That way you have an idea. If we do have to use any of the Thunderbolt characters, I have Hyperion at 5-star, Victoria Hand at 5 stars, Songbird at 4 stars. As far as the Vigilante characters, Silver Sable is 6, along with Hitmonkey and Daredevil Modern. So with that, let's go ahead and start the run. So in the event section, we're going to the Quasar event right here. And max difficulty is 10. And we're just going to end up throwing all of these on, but let's go ahead and read through these. So this tag right here is going to give Quasar the Vigilante and the Thunderbolts tag. This is going to be nothing but helping you out. There's no Quasar in the nodes, I believe. When a character dies, their allied bio characters will be getting revive. That's fine. I don't think that's going to come into play. The health mods right here for the Experimentum Serum. If you are not comfortable on doing your max run, you can leave this off, but for this run, we're going to put it on. I want to do the max difficulty and efficiency on here. Home field advantage. All city characters will be gaining 15% critical hit chance, 10% critical hit damage, but the player villain character loses 20% damage and max health. This right here is basically saying take Electra out, throw Quasar in, and use Vigilante. That's what this tells me. And you're going to be getting positive mods for this. I really wish if they did stuff like this, make this where this is a negative mod, so that we're going to lose points. Same with this Quasar. Have it to where you actually lose points. It's nice that it's 0 points. I mean, that's something. But if it's helping you out, I think that should actually lower your max points on here to make it more difficult. Vile Rally. On enemy death, clear all negative effects from enemies. Basically, you kill an enemy, they're going to be getting the negative debuffs removed on here. Drone Defenders. When an enemy uses their basic, they apply bleed, special, heal block, and ultimate blind. This is pretty interesting. Let's throw that on. Energy Absorption. On an enemy character's turn, remove all negative effects and heal them. So basically, you need to kill them very quickly, otherwise it's going to be healing. Storm Warning. Raid ability is active. This is like nothing but help for us. I don't think this is going to really benefit the enemy. So again, I wish this was a negative mod on here that throw a bunch of like war characters, Cosmic Crucible characters on the other side. Let's have a mod for that. Like here, war abilities are active. Make it to where this is a positive, these are negative. That would make it more interesting in my opinion. Let's throw the war one on because we are using Quasar, and then Rope-a-Dope. This one here is usually very difficult. So if you are having struggles, usually you want to turn Rope-a-Dope off and the Experimentum Serum off. I could see where something like the clear negative effects right here, I could see where that could kind of hurt you as well in the future. But let's throw it on. So this is going to be a 1.689 million run, 170 mods. That's all of them, difficulty 10. Let's start. So node 1, we have Beta Ray Bill, we have Havoc, so there's going to be some Asgardians. There's Starjammer right there for Howard. Let's go ahead and start this run. Chat, what do you make of the very first mod? It's just to help us out. We got Quasar, so now we can substitute Electra out to throw Quasar in. What does this deprecation and power for your next run mean for the Quasar? Basically, what that means, Northbound, is when this comes around the next time, you're not going to get as big of a boost because we're going to have more stars for Quasar. That's kind of what it means for. You're doing difficulty 9 all packs. That's all you need for milestone, so easy. Okay, so difficulty 9 all mods. That's interesting to know. All right, let's start this up. So we're going to end up using our Vigilante right here. We're going to end up taking out Electra. We're going to end up throwing in Quasar. Quasar has no red stars at this time. You can see I do have a G20 on him because I got my Xavier, so he was definitely going to be one of the characters I take up on there. ISO, let's go ahead. I like Striker on Punisher. I really like Hitmonkey as a Striker. We got a Raider. We'll keep him as a Skirmisher so we get some vulnerables out there, and then we can use these Striker shots. If you want, I could see Punisher being a raider for this because we do have a Quasar in here. Let's do that. All right, Nexus Earth, Strike Headquarters. You don't trust Vaughn is all there. That's he's still under somebody else's control. Something's not right. We only partially fixed what was broken in there. He seemed to come clear too soon. Maybe it's because he's tough, maybe not. As long as he's not crushing us with those gauntlets, I'll keep my optimism at a distance. Now then, I'm sure Strike can deal with that. We have more important things to attend to. Where are those files we discovered? Mayday, the headquarters under attack. We need a call for reinforcements. Crap. Ooh, language. We're still recovering from the fight with Quasar. Ask for anyone we got. Ugh, the tactical amateur. I suppose this is our mess too. Allow me to help. It's my fault that we're weakened. Perhaps I can help scare them away. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll use the special. This is going to get slow out there. A bunch of negative effects. There goes Kang. Alright. Let's go ahead and we have 17. Let's go ahead and use this ultimate. Because we have Hit Monkey, we have the raid rules active. That's going to give us that ability energy. Let's go ahead and get a stun in Havoc. And there's Howard. Perfect. Now I want to try and go into Vol. Let's target Valkyrie. Pop the ult. All right, let's go ahead and basic here. We'll save that ultimate. I don't think we're going to need that ult right now. And let's go ahead and special over here. We do have 14 more characters to kill, so I do always take a look at these. So that way I know where my abilities are currently set to.
I'm gonna make some weird shit.
Hey, thank you for the follow, guys. Alright, so we got Kang popping down, Beta Ray Bill popping down. Let's go ahead and pop that ult now into Kang. And we can pop this ult right now. That should help clear this wave off. Let's get a stun in Moonstone. Or just kill Moonstone. Death is always a good option. Alright, there goes Kang. We'll use that basic here. Alright, this is the last wave. So we do want to be mindful of our cooldowns. We can pop the special here, get off the taunt. Alright, we got ability block over here. Let's go ahead and special. We're going to extend these negative effects. And let's go ahead and we'll pop the special. The ult's on a longer cooldown. Hitmonkey does give us ability energy, so that is something I'd keep in mind. There's the special. Let's go ahead and basic into Vol. Let's try to kill Vol here. We can pop the special. That's fine. He'll get the ability energy because he has the Vigilante tag right now. Alright, basic here. Alright, so that should kill Howard the Duck. All your cooldowns should be set as well. Not terrible. You still don't get it, but you're an idiot, so no worries. Hey, I'm a professional idiot. I put that in a lot of my movies and videos during this, so professional idiot. Alright, so next up we have a Kahori on here. Harbinger or Quasar again. So we have Absolute A-Force and a bunch of Spider-Verse characters. Interesting. Got enough for the second red. Not bad, not bad. Alright, so Cav is going first. We don't have any controllers, so we didn't have to worry about what Kahori's going to do to us. Let's go ahead and ult, though, into Kahori. Now we can end up using this ult. That's going to clear those positive effects. Let's get a stun into... Kind of feeling this lizard over here. I don't want him stripping our stuff. No stun. Okay. That's because of Green Goblin Classic, probably. Alright, he's killed off. Let's pop the ult here. Green Goblin Classic's killed off. Let's go ahead, special into Pav. Alright, so we got that stun over here. We can extend the stun. Let's take out the Peter B. Alright, so there's the next drop. Let's go ahead and use the ult into Kraven now. Let's use the ult from Silver Sable. Alright, let's try to get that stun into Penny. Perfect. Alright, ult into Spider Slayer. That's going to do a nice AoE attack over here. Let's use the special. We can say the ult for the next drop. Alright, let's target this Medusa special here. This Quasar is wrecking shot, by the way. So we got 5 enemies. We burn this. We're gonna... Yeah, we'll be fine to burn this. We'll be able to get the ult back for the next node. Alright, let's go ahead special and extend. Alright, let's go ahead and special. Here we're getting basic. And let's go ahead lower this health pool of this Medusa. Alright, so now we should be good. There we go. That was a tough fight. Was it, though? Those guys were gunning for something Hand and her group are keeping private. What is it? None of your concern. It's being handled by professionals. My real concern is how much stronger Quasar became so quickly. Since my return from the negative zone, my power has slowly regenerated as I absorb energy from this galaxy. I'm itching to return to battle. Well, here's your opportunity. I overheard where those guys are coming from. Maybe it can lead to more info about what they want with their relic. Hand is trying and failing to keep hidden. Why you? I'd be happy to help. I'm eager to prove my worth and loyalty to Strike, and I feel terrible for what I've done while under the enemy's control. I want you to follow them, but at a distance, I still don't trust that Wendell has fully returned to us. Okay. I'm hoping they kind of tease who the next legendary is. I know it's going to be early because this is the first run, but it would be kind of interesting. Now you scored enough. Claim bolt now. Oh, yep. All right, next up, we have Lilandra. We have Liberty members. We got another Pav. Thanos Endgame. Vigilante on this one for sure. Okay. Hey, drone sound. Yeah, Vigilante turned out to be really good. Just that slight tweak they made to that team made them really good and fun for offense. Nexus Earth, New York City, abandoned building. Several groups have brought large shipments in and out of that building. Do you have any idea what's inside those containers? Seems like tech of some sort might be related to what Hand and her group is hiding from us. Be sure this is the same group that attacked headquarters. Positive, those guys have the same vacant expressions as the others I've worked with. That's all I need to hear. Let's move in quickly. It seems like they're packing up and heading out now. Vigilante all the way. That's my thought was going to happen. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and let's target Patriot and burn the ult right here. That's all ability blocked over there. Use the ult here to get rid of those positive effects. And let's go ahead and get a stun in Cap Sam. Well, he just died. So again, the death is the best status effect in the game. All right, ult into Peggy. All right, so we're going to end up using the special over here in Penny. All right, let's go ahead and special. Let's go ahead, extend these negative effects. All right, so we didn't push him yet. Let's delay that. Let's try and take out Penny. That's special over here. All right, let's go ahead and ult. That's going to end up pushing. Thanos didn't get pushed. Okay, let's burn the ult here. All right, ult into Peggy. All right, ult with Daredevil Modern. Big AoE hit. Let's target Thanos over here in ult. Are the mods actually working properly? Because if I recall, when we kill them, aren't they supposed to clear the negative effects off? There's a special. Yeah, Thanos didn't proc on either of those. So trauma's not being counted as being removed? Okay. I wasn't sure if trauma was actually the thing stopping. I was kind of curious. It's when they finish their turn, but I thought there was something when you kill them. Let me double check. On enemy's turn, remove and heal. On enemy death, clear all negative effects. The trauma's probably stopping it. Okay. That's probably what's going on. Yeah, I know trauma can only decay. I wasn't sure if that was actually going to count as a decay or actual clear. I just wanted to make sure that everything's working as it should be. All right, so this node here, we have Vigilante again. We have Undying. We have Illuminati. We have Night Stalker enemies. A-Bomb and Nimrod's interesting being in there. We need to upgrade Quasar for this event. I believe the event to upgrade is red stars. I believe that's what it was. All right, let's start by using the ult here into Oath. And let's go ahead, burn the ult here. Let's try to get a stun into Oath, because we can't stun Man-Thing, I believe. We can't stun... Yeah, we can't stun Man-Thing. No zombie Juggernaut was out there, so we could have stunned other people. Let's use the ult from Daredevil Modern. Let's go ahead, get the extra shot into Man-Thing. Right, so there's Blade, there's zombie Juggernaut. We got to take care of that Blade. Luckily, Vigilante can't get bleed, so that always helps. All right, burn that ult there. Burn Silver Sable's ult, get off the taunt. And let's go ahead, get a stun into Hank Pym.
I'm gonna make some weird shit.
Let's just take care of Blade. Thank you for the follow. All right, there's the ult. The extra damage for Punisher into villains is pretty awesome, especially with that offense up right there. All right, let's use the special here. So that got rid of Blade. All right, let's go ahead, use Hit Monkey's special. All right, that will kill the one Nimrod, hopefully. Or not. There we go. Let's go into A-Bomb over here. We have 7 enemies left. We don't really need to use any AoEs at this point. Let's use the ult. Let's take those positive effects. We got defense up on us. Let's use the special. That's on a shorter cooldown. All right, special from Silver Sable. We can use the ult. Let's get a stun into Hank Pym. There's enough enemies out there. Hitmonkey's gonna get all that ability energy back. Let's go for Hella. There goes Hella. All right, special. Take that defense up again. Let's special. We have 4 enemies left. He'll get that refilled. We can use that special here. All right, so now we can do some basics. So auto basic the rest of this. So far, pretty easy. No difficult nodes yet. All right, there goes Oath. All right, Vaughn, they're getting away with a crate. Do something. I'm afraid I can't. I'm not fully charged. I heard where they're headed. Missed that one. There could be handy. Need to make sure we don't lose. Monkey sounds. And it seems we found a solution. Annihilation wave. That's why I don't like doing the auto. I just missed a lot of that text. Didn't really miss anything. I heard annihilation wave though. All right, this one's Vigilante, Thunderbolts, or Quasar for this one. We have a Weaver. We have Nova, who has the War abilities active. So that, out of time. We have Orcus on here. 2 Novas. Interesting. Auto basic. So, I'll show you that real quick. In the settings up here, click the gear. Go to advanced. And there is a show basic only autoplay option. You have to turn this on. All right, let's go in here. Finish your first run, about 1.2 mil. Not too shabby day, bro. So when you have that turned on, I'll show you how to do that next. We have monkey sounds. Exit the work, they're right through here. Let's sneak through and see if we can get the jump on them before they can escape. Someone's approaching. There's no sneaking past you, is there? We're here to make sure you don't fumble this retrieval mission. They have something I need, so we're here to ensure we get it. We're on the same team. Hey, thank you for the follow. It seems they might have spotted us. So yeah, once you flip that switch, hit the auto button, then it's going to show you an auto basic option up here.
I'm gonna make some weird shit.
All right, let's start by doing ult. So now we have the ability block trauma over there.
I'm gonna make some weird shit.
Thank you for the follow, guys. Appreciate that. All right, so Silver Sable's ult stripped the positive effects and the charges off of Nova. Let's go ahead and let's get a stun into Nimrod. He's actually going to be the next to go. So Nimrods are under control. Let's try to take out the Nova here. Burn the ult. All right, special. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of the Nova before he puts the battlefield effect out there. Now let's take care of these pings. All right, we will use the special. Yeah, we can burn the ult here. So I got the trauma out there, so that's not being removed. Let's go into Nimrod. All right, let's go ahead, use the ult here. That's going to end up getting Nova. All right, so yeah, that Nimrod did end up getting his negative effects removed. All right, let's go ahead, special. Oops, that was the wrong character. I thought that was Hitmonkey. Now we got Hitmonkey. There we go. All right, let's try and take out that Nova. All right, we can special here. All right, so that run is done for that node. Hey, thanks, Mag. I appreciate that. All right, we have 3 more nodes to go. This is really short and pretty easy so far. That could be due to the G20s and everything. All right, so here we have Kahori, we have Annul, we have Annihilators, Absolute A-Force. There's another Kahori down here. Green Goblin Classics random character that's in here. That's probably due to the null aspect of it. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to keep adding to this every month, which is pretty cool. And start adding the new characters to it. Let's start by doing the ult here. That's going to get the battlefield effect up. And there's that null aspect right there. And let's try to get a stun into Kahori. Let's go ahead and burn the ult over here. Alright, so there Thanos did end up getting pushed on that one. Quasar got jacked up. Alright, so we finally lost somebody. We have to be careful on this one. Alright, good to know. The last node took 2 hits. Hey, challenge accepted. You finished difficulty 9, all milestones, 5 vigilante, no Quasar, snooze fest. Yeah, the leaderboard's all cosmetic on this. Alright, so special. I think I still want to use the ult first. That's going to get the battlefield effect up. Let's get the stun into Thanos this time. There it went into Kahori. Let's just try to tunnel him down. Alright, so there goes Thanos. Gore's going. There goes Gladiator. Medusa just one-shot Quasar? What the crap? Okay. Alright, we got a challenge on this node. Alright, so how do we want to play this? Medusa one-shot Kahori. Gore ended up popping. Let's start with a special this time. So now they have offense down, defense down. Burn the ult here. Yeah, I don't want to use the red stars yet on him. Let's get the stun into Gore quick. I don't want to do that just because that would end up getting me the max red stars. Now some people won't be able to do that. So there's the ult. Thanos being pushed. Thanos didn't get pushed there on that one. Why did not Thanos get pushed? What happened? Well, they're all dead. All right. Let's basic here. That should kill Kahori. Let's use that special. That's going to heal, give some positive effects. It should be easy. That's their own fault for not engaging. Alright, let's use the ultimate here. Alright, let's get a stun. That went to Medusa, that's fine. Alright, so let's go into Gore now that we're off Ms. Marvel Classic. Let's take these positive effects. Let's flip those positive effects. Thanos didn't get pushed again. What's going on with Thanos? Half the time he's being pushed, the other half he isn't. You gonna die? Alright, last wave. We can burn this. We'll get the ability to energy back for that one. Let's stun here. Let's special into Surfer. Alright, now we can basic over here. Alright, so that node is done. Crash. Wendell, you broke the device. Why? He's got glowy eyes now. Sorry, I didn't know what happened. My energy started surging, couldn't control myself. Surely there's a way to fix it. I've heard enough, Quasar. I'm going to need you to come quietly back to Strike headquarters. You're not yourself, and you don't call me Shirley. Did she really just bust out that meme? Wait, no. I might not have total control of my powers at this moment, but we can still find a decoder. This isn't their only base. I'm sure we can find leads to another. What do you need the decoder for anyway, Hand? What are you hiding? You've been awfully suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Forgive me if I keep my cards close to the chest. In my line of work, trust is fleeting. I can update your team on the way to the next base, but we must keep this quiet. And as for you, we'll escort you back as soon as this is over, but I have my eye on you. Understood, it won't happen again. Right? If you know, you know. Homelander coming? Yes, he is. He just needs his milk. He'll be happy once he gets his milk. Alright, so we have two more nodes. This one here looks like we have a Mercs for money. We have X-Men stuff going on. There's Phoenix, Omega Red Phoenix Force. Alrighty. So we're looking for any leads on this relic, which spit out pretty boy here. And he came out swinging with some screws loose. Something to that effect, yes. The Relic, Quasar, and these corrupted organizations are all tied to the Annihilation Wave. We need to ensure we understand what's going on here, and more importantly, we don't have any more cosmic energy wielding lunatics attacking Earth. I heard that, ma'am, and I'm not a lunatic. Maybe not normally, but you certainly were recently. I can't be taking any more chances. Let's get the decoder in one piece this time. Alright, let's start by ulting over here. That's going to get the ability block on Phoenix. This is probably going to kill Phoenix. Yep. Bye, Felicia. Let's get the stun into Dark Phoenix. Alright, let's ult here. Alright, burn the ult into Omega Red Phoenix Force so we get the extra damage on that villain. Let's ult into Old Man Logan. Actually, should have stayed on Omega Red right there due to the vulnerable and Striker. Alright, let's try and ult. That's going to give us that speed up. Let's take out Old Man Logan. Alright, special here. I should just make Quasar a Raider. I keep not using the Striker from him. Alright, let's try and take out Forge. Alright, special. Let's take those buffs. Alright, let's go into Phoenix ult for that ability block. Let's take those buffs off. Let's extend from the Omega Red. Ouch. Let's go ahead and clear nade effects. Yeah, let's ult, get those nade effects off of Quasar. Let's go ahead and ult here. And here we can basic. He has that ability block. Let's go ahead and use that special. We're gonna need to get a stun on him from a Hit Monkey. Otherwise, just gonna keep taking those our health off. Don't like that. That's gonna cause issues on the next node.
I'm gonna make some weird shit.
Alright, there we go. Surely we know. Thank you for the follow again, guys. Alright, so we got one more node to go. Alright, we have a Odin to start. Uh-oh. We have a Black Knight, we have Cosmic Ghost Rider, Shadow King. So we got some Astral and a Dorm at the end. That Odin's gonna be an issue.
I'm gonna make some weird shit.
Thank you. So many follows. I always appreciate that. Odin incoming. This is where Striker Quasar is useful. Yeah, right. Let's start by using... Let's use the ultimate here. Let's get those buffs off. So we have the battlefield effect up here, so we don't have to really worry about the Odin getting his battlefield effect out on us. So I don't want to ability block him. I actually want to basic. Actually do want ability block, so he does basic. That's what it was. Let's use the ultimate here. Let's go ahead and use ultimate striker shot. Actually, he's a raider. Both going. Please leave Quasar alone. Quasar dead. Man thing. Alright. Let's try to figure this puzzle out. Tunnel Odin. Yeah, I need to get to him. Alright, ult, so we get the battlefield effect out. Ult to get off the taunt. That's special. Let's go into Shadow King ult here. Alright, so now goes Oath. Okay. Easier with Electra over Quasar, even with the Pact. Yeah, my cooldowns are good right now. Let's try to throw those red stars on Quasar quick. Alright, so for the milestone, difficulty 10, it looks like you only need to do 8 or 9, mission 7 or mission 8. 6 or 7, actually. 6 or 7 should get you max milestones. So let's claim these. Alright, so there's red stars on him. Now let's try. Wrong one. There you are. You're over here now. You had to use Quasar Thunderbolts first, Vigilante cleanup, after Odin and Shadow King died. Okay. Alright, so there's the ult. Battlefield effect up. Charges off. I want to try to tunnel down that Shadow King. Those pings actually hurt. And I'm not worried much about the Odin because we have our battlefield effect up. So I need Punisher to be a striker there. I need to switch him back. Daredevil's taking those hits like a champ over Quasar right now, though. Daredevil gonna survive. Alright. It's special here. Striker shot. Let's extend. Daredevil's killed for us. Alright, I'm gonna switch Punisher to a striker. I need that striker shot on him. Yeah, I put difficulty 10, all mods right now. And I'm on the last node. I'm going to make you a striker. We have skirmisher, we have a raider here, so. Yeah, no problem.
I'm gonna make some weird shit.
Alright, we're ulting, charges are off. Trauma ability block. Ult here. Now that we know Shadow King's hitting Daredevil now instead of Quasar, let's go all in on Odin now. That's going to get the striker shot into Odin. Ult here. I'm going to get the striker shot into Shadow King because he gets extra damage versus the villains there. Ping's coming into Daredevil. All right, let's special here. Striker shot. All right, there we lost Daredevil. Emma's killed. Almost got him that time. I'm gonna try all in on Shadow King. That guy is a pain in the ass with those pings. Yeah, but with the kills, you at least get the ability energy back. Yeah, I'm gonna go for Shadow King this time. All right, so ult there, ult here. All right, Shadow King. We're special with hit monkeys, so we get the striker shot into him. Let's ult here. All right, ult, striker shot, Shadow King dead. So we don't have to worry about the pings now. All right, now we need to get rid of you. Let's special here. There goes Black Knight. All right, that should kill you. No more possesses out in the field. He's about to special. I'm not worried about you. Let's get rid of you, because you're going to stun us next. No charges because of battlefield effects. All right, special. Ult. Now we can go all in on Odin here. Striker shot. All right, there goes his speed up. Ult. Striker. Ult. Striker. All right, that Odin should be toast here. Striker shot. There was Odin. Now it's game over for them. Let's take out Ancient One. All right, let's ult here. Ult was over Sable. Let's stun you. Let's ult here. That's going to hit everybody. There goes Black Knight. All right, there we go. So there's the one shot. Perfect. Here we are. One space tech decoder in one piece this time. Now, do you believe I'm in control? I suppose some trust is warranted, but I still have my eye on you, Quasar. Once we figure out what those corrupted groups were hiding, we should know our next move. I'll be bringing this back to HQ. While we figure this out, it shouldn't take too long. Let me hope you figure it out, and I need to know where the next relic is just as much as you do. Yeah, I believe the battlefield effect actually got... I don't think it got extended when he ulted again. It might have. Alright, so with difficulty 10, all mods, first run, we got a 1.7, 1.73. That put us in 18th place. So not terrible. As far as the ranking goes, it's all cosmetic, so don't really feel pressured into that. Difficulty 10, you need to do like 6 or 7 nodes. That will end up getting you all milestones. Otherwise, difficulty 9, all mods, is another route you could end up going. But hopefully the gameplay helped you guys out. If you did enjoy this video, please remember to like, share, subscribe. Until next time, have one for the rest of the day.